Hello. Today, I'm going to show you how to play Bloodhound. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I the best Bloodhound in the game. I just know how to play him pretty well. So, here are some helpful tips to help you. So without further ado, let's get at it. First off, a friendly reminder that this is not just to benefit you. This is a team game, and it'll not just benefit your abilities, but how it'll affect other legends and other abilities as well. So learn that, motherfucker. There are a lot of mixed reactions with this character. People debating whether or not he's an aggressive type character or just a basic recon character that no one likes. Well, this is just my opinion, and this is just how I play, and it's been really good for me, so this is how we're doing it. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about Bloodhound, the number one thing you need to become a good Bloodhound main is you need to learn how to listen. If you don't listen carefully, you can possibly make the wrong move at the wrong time, and you'll eventually flunk. So, the first thing you need to do is listen. Take a moment, a pause, crouch, hide in a corner, whatever you need to do. Listen to that good headset of yours and see if there's any footsteps or any shooting or anything. The best thing you want to know is where your enemy is and how quickly or how far you are from them. Secondly, I'm gonna say, you need to understand weapon combinations. This will affect your gameplay of how you play Bloodhound. With long range to mid range to close range, it all depends on what weapons you have. Of whether you're going to make a push or you're going to stay back and use some long range weapons. Understand the combinations. Weapons are important. I mean, no shit, but seriously, you understand the combinations of weapons and you'll change your playstyle every time depending on what weapons you like to use and what weapons you are comfortable with using. Next thing, and this is going to go into Bloodhound's passive ability, communication. The fact of the matter is a lot of people think Bloodhound sucks is because he doesn't use his ping system or he doesn't talk. He doesn't ping the fact that there are footsteps here, that people have died here, or there are people nearby. Communication is key for Bloodhound. If you tell your teammates that there have been enemies here, then that'll give them some kind of upper hand. It gives them the knowledge that enemies are around to keep your guard up. If you're in a party with friends, you tell them the time. When you're in your passive ability, you see footsteps on the ground. They look like this. These symbols you can ping. Ping them for your teammates. It will automatically tell them to keep their guard up. If you're with party with friends, you tell them exactly the time. 30 seconds, 20 seconds ago, 10 seconds. They're nearby. Tell your teammates. Damn. Now, when you see those footsteps, you actually have two choices. One, you can follow the footsteps and eventually run into whatever enemy you're running into, or you can run the other way. That's why people think that Bloodhound might be an aggressive character, because you can follow the footsteps and just lead to battle all the time. But you don't have to play that way. I say it depends where you are in the circle and where your teammates are, how many teammates you have. If you have all your teammates and they're relatively close, specifically like maybe 20 seconds to 30 seconds away, then I say you can make a solid push and give them a nice surprise. Now let's talk about Bloodhound's tactical. Now listen, this thing a couple of seasons ago became overpowered, as people thought. The thing was weak in the beginning, even I used it before then, and I used it very much incorrectly back then and slowly learned, and this buff became insanely overpowered. However, there is much disadvantage with this thing. Now, you know, tactical Eye of the All-Father gives you a scan, allows you to see enemies and traps between walls for just a couple of seconds. Now, this thing, you need to know when and where to use it. This all goes back to listening. You never want to do this. You never want to use this ability when you're by yourself. When you scan, it's 3 times the amount it was before, which means it'll spread and it'll be visible to people. You never want to use it in the open, and if you're going to scan, you have to do it with your teammates by your side. It gives your teammates information on how many bad guys there are, if there are any traps they need to worry about. So if you're going to see right here, I have a teammate right next to me and I scanned for him and you see one hostile detected. I felt confident and made a solid push. That's the right way to use it. You make sure your teammates are by your side. The thing is so obvious that anyone can see it from a long distance away.
Also, I believe it was last season that Bloodhound got a little buff that he can also use the survey beacon alongside crypto. Man, I don't know what to tell you. Just use the survey beacon. It'll help your teammates know where the next map is. I think the only bad thing I could say about it is that the survey beacon can be pretty loud. So if there are any teammates alongside you, just be careful with that. Now let's talk about this ultimate ability and how you can use it to your advantage, because right now it's broken as shit. As in, this thing has gotten a couple of buffs in the last couple of seasons. So as you know, Beast of the Hunt allows you to see everything in gray, and all enemies and their recent footsteps are highlighted in red. Even your teammates are highlighted in blue, so that's a fun fact if you didn't know. And your Eye of the Allfather gets a 5-second cooldown every time, allowing you to scan. So there's a lot of good things that you can do with this, and there's also some bad. For starters, the good thing about this is why you can make some good solid pushes with this. And the reason that being is a couple of things. For starters, you are fast. You are a lot faster than you were before. Another thing, when enemies see you, your eyes are glowing red. And to me, that is the most terrifying thing ever. You see these red glowing eyes running at you. It's terrifying, it's intimidating, and it'll give your enemies a good scare. There are a couple of ways you can use this ability. A lot of people just use it for automatic assault, but you could also use it to get yourself out of tricky situations. It's very possible for you to run the other direction with that. I've used that plenty of times when I was getting shot at in a tight corner. I would run really fast. It's really hard for them to hit more bullets when you're running that fast. So that's a really helpful ability to have. One of the only bad things about Beast of the Hunt is the fact that it's loud when you activate it. It makes this really loud noise that enemies nearby will be able to hear, so they get their guard up. So what I recommend you do is do not activate it if you're outside or inside a building and the enemy's on the other side, and they'll be able to hear it. They'll have their guard up. They'll be ready for you. So what I recommend you doing is keeping your distance. Your squad mates can start making a nice solid push in front, but when you activate it from a little far distance, especially with this new map since it's so open. Stay your distance and then activate it. And that's where you can run really quickly, swoop in, and surprise your enemies. They'll be caught off guard, and you'll be able to get some nice solid kills with that. Alright, before I go on with, the whole combinations of Legends and Bloodhound's abilities, one of my friends actually texted me because I told him I was making this video. He asked me, explain the ravens that are on the floor. So here's the thing. Even I do not specifically know why they're there. The only time I ever see them is when I'm actually tracking someone. And when I'm following the footsteps and then they somewhat appear. It's possible that they're there after a fight, knowing that there's fight and people died. But other than that, I only see them when I'm tracking someone, which kind of means that I'm on the right trail. So just keep going, which I don't see the point, but it's a nice touch to the character, so that's pretty cool. So there are different ways that Bloodhound can use his abilities with other people's abilities. So I'm going to use two examples. I'm going to use Bangalore and Revenant. Now, for example, Bangalore, she could toss her smoke, and when she does that, you can use your freaking Beast of the Hunt so you can see in the smoke, and even use your Eye of the Allfather so your friends, your teammates can see through the smoke for a little while. But you're going to have that advantage with the Beast of the Hunt because they're going to try to get out of that smoke, and they're not expecting you with your glowing eyes. Next, Revenant. So with Revenant, Beast of the Hunt can be used for full-on assault, as I said earlier. But for example, when you use Revenant's totem, it is still terrifying to use because you can still run at people and you have nothing to worry about because you're going to survive with that totem. And after you're done, if they shoot you, you could still run with still Beast of the Hunt active, so you can make still solid push with that. So it's basically 2 chances to go in there with Beast of the Hunt. Really helpful and a murder weapon. If you follow these steps and understand the basic gameplay with weapon combinations and circle and understanding the map, you will, without a doubt, become a better Bloodhound. Practice with your friends. Go into the firing range. Practice with your friends. You will become a better Bloodhound like this. So, that's all I have for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Look at that, dude. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.